Greetings everyone. The film for me is a reality of what I'm campaigning on every day and have been for many years. As the co-founder and national co-chair of Black Activists Rising Against Cuts, Barrack UK, we campaign against the disproportionate impact of austerity on black workers, communities and service users. And we know that black communities are one of the hardest hit groups by cuts, whether that's in communities because our local services, voluntary sector services, the services we rely on have just been drained and stripped away. You look at our high streets and they've been replaced by payday loan shops and casinos, and the essential services that we need aren't there anymore. Black communities are being criminalised. There are more young black men in prison than there are in university. And you know, when you're talking about the divide, there are more black students in the London London Met University than there are in the whole Russell Group put together. So this is a reality that we are facing as black communities, and we're fighting every day. And you're looking at the 0-hour contract that people are working on. Young people, particularly young black people, are facing that as the only option. But as well as young people, you've got people that are trying to feed families, that have got partners and children, trying to live off that money, but at the same time, they don't know where their work is coming from one day to the next. When my son was a student, he's graduated now, he worked in a KFC, as we've seen fast food on the film, and he had to phone up at midnight on a Saturday night to be told what hours he was working the following week, and that could include starting at 6 a.m. that same day, on the Sunday. So, there was no respect for the fact that he was a student, that he was trying to fit, the working hours around his studies and so on. So it's a real struggle. That's if you can even get a foot in the door to get work in the first place. Because before austerity hit, black communities were already facing discrimination in the labour market, and that's just been amplified by austerity. And I thought it was interesting to see the people that were living in the richer, gated area talking about it was actually being sold to them as nobody's going to talk to you, you won't know anybody, that nobody's going to bother you, this is a really quiet area. So there's no sense of community. So they want to cut themselves off and isolate themselves from everybody else. But we shouldn't forget, actually, that Trayvon Martin, a young black man, was killed, shot dead, and he was making his way from the shop back to his father's house, who lived in a gated community. So actually, if you're black, racism doesn't go away because you're rich, but obviously if you've got the issue of being working class and black, you've got that multiple level of discrimination. If you're young and black, you've got another layer of discrimination, and black women are particularly hit, because black women are often the head of a household, trying to juggle 3 or 4 jobs, make ends meet, pay the bills, and also raise a family. And if you're having to work all those hours, you can't dedicate as much time as you would want to your children, and you're in a position, catch-22 position, where what do? Do you not feed your children? Look at what we're facing in this country now. We're working people, it's not just unemployed people, working families where you might have 2 people working in the family, still having to go to food banks just to survive because they're not earning enough. I used to work years ago in a unemployment benefit office, a job centre, and as a single parent, I was one of those people that claiming the benefits that I administer because my wages were too low for me to live off, and that's a reality that's even increased and deepened, and I've probably gone on for too long now, haven't I? I need to pass it back to somebody else. I could go on for hours and hours.
All right, yeah, that's great. Thank you very much.